claims against the federal government in exchange for the creation of this fund. But the agreement went even further yesterday. A sweeping one-page addendum said the government will be, quote, forever barred and precluded from pursuing certain legal claims against the president and his family, including anything related to previous tax returns.
Joining us now, NBC News senior justice reporter Ryan Riley. Ryan, there's a lot to dig into here, so let's start with this addendum from yesterday and what it means for Trump and his family.
Yeah, it can have a really significant potential value. Some outside estimates have said that this could potentially save Donald Trump $100 million if there was something that was found in the process of reviewing these tax records. But what this was all about originally was this lawsuit over the leaking of his tax return records, which showed he did not pay all that much in taxes overall, because that was leaked by an IRS contractor that resulted in this litigation. But it was just an odd situation to begin with, because you typically don't have the situation where the sitting president of the United States is suing a government which he can control in many ways, as we've seen over the past year and a half, and his own officials would be subjected to defending that. They never entered an appearance in the case, which made it possible for them to drop the case, and now this sort of fund all grew out of that.
And Ryan, what more do we know about this lawsuit filed by two law enforcement officers who defended the Capitol on January 6th?
Yeah, that includes Harry Dunn, and it's a lawsuit essentially that alleges that they are going to be targeted even more because if the Justice Department is to pay out this money to January 6 rioters. They've gotten a lot of death threats over the years and have been targeted by some of the Capitol rioters themselves. And they say essentially that if money goes to those rioters, that's going to continue, and it's going to sort of incentivize them and encourage people who damaged the Capitol, who attacked the Capitol that day, to continue doing what they're doing. So that's their issue for standing. I think standing is going to be a little bit of a tricky thing here. But what's interesting is it will appear before, or at least this lawsuit is going to appear before a lot of the very same judges who heard a lot of the evidence in the January 6 cases here in D.C.
And Ryan, I want to hit some of your exclusive reporting that seems to have foreshadowed a conversation that happened months before the creation of this fund. A DOJ official apparently told a GOP ally that big payouts were coming to January 6 defendants. What should we know there?
Yeah, so this was Ed Martin, and the way he sort of really got close to Donald Trump was that he was hosting these fundraisers when Donald Trump was out of office for these January 6 defendants. He was associated with this outside group that was raising money for the families of January 6 defendants. He himself was a Stop the Steal organizer. He actually gave a speech outside of the Capitol on January 5th, calling for patriotic Americans to fight to their dying breath to stop the steal. And now he's in this important position within the Justice Department and has been pushing for this settlement. So sort of preview that to a GOP ally at a hotel here in Washington, and that seems to have been what has come about. But of course, there are all of these outside efforts to try to stop this from coming, and we've seen some opposition from even Republicans on the Hill about this fund, which many opponents are describing as a slush fund for Donald Trump's allies.
Ryan Riley for us. Ryan, thank you.
We are keeping a close eye today on extreme weather conditions on both coasts.